Okay, so you have decided officially, or maybe you haven't decided and you're still on the fence, that a new construction home is the right fit for you. And then you started looking into it here in DFW and it quickly got super overwhelming and you realized you had more questions than you had answers. So here's what I want to do today. In our video, we're going to talk about things you need to know before building and signing a contract on a new construction home. Let's jump in and get started. Here we go. Okay, let's talk about first and foremost, let's bring a little bit of clarity to what particularly this video is going to be about, because new construction could mean anything from like manufactured, neighborhood, or fully custom build out home. And so really quick, I'll hit the fully custom side. That means you're going out and you're looking for your own land, or maybe you have your own land and then you're bringing in your own builder, your own architect, all of those things, fully customizing every piece of the project. There's a whole lot that goes into that. That's probably a totally separate video. For the purpose of today's video though, we're talking about like you are building within a development and you want to go talk to those builders and you're going to build out of their inventory or out of their list of specs. So just let's make that important clarification as we get started here today. When it comes to communities, the way that typically works is a developer comes in, buys out the land and says, hey, we're going to goes to the city and says, hey, we're going to put homes here. Here's kind of what we're thinking. Here's our master plan. Developer comes in and starts working on that. And then on the back end, the developer brings in these builders, like, so think like Highland, Perry, D.R. Horton, Shattuck, you name it, whatever. They partner up with the developer, and then the developer sells those plots of land, so they have it surveyed, replotted out, sells those to the builder, and then the builder starts building homes in those communities. Those plans are, vary based on the community and the agreements with the developers. Sometimes the builders have 50-50 splits. Sometimes it's, 4 builders and it's 25% splits. Sometimes one builder has the large lots and the other builder has the smaller lots. Sometimes it's a mix or a match. Sometimes it's just one builder for the whole neighborhood, which is most of the time that's not normally the case. You at least get 2. Some of the larger neighborhoods that you see being developed have 4 and 5 builders. And again, we've talked about this before, not all builders build the same way and have the same things to offer, things to give you. So just be mindful when you're walking into those communities. They're all different companies and they're working together to build out those communities. Thing to note when we talk about who's interacting in this transaction. So of course you've got yourself, you have the builder's sales rep. So that's the kind of the front end, the face that you see when you walk into a model home. They're there to answer questions. And then of course you have your builder who is actually going to oversee the building of your home. He'll oversee all the general contractors, make sure the electricians show up, the plumbers show up. And then of course you've got your realtor. A lot of people think, hey, you can walk into a new construction community without a realtor, and you definitely can. I just would not recommend it, because as nice as all of our builder reps are, and I work with a ton of them, they're great, but they are paid. They work for the builder. They're looking out for the builder's best interest. To them, a lot of times you are just simply a number or a transaction, especially at times with larger builders, not always the case. So it's important to have a realtor that goes in and works for you, is advocating for you to make sure you're getting the best deal possible, make sure things aren't getting missed, make sure timelines are being met, deadlines are being met, questions are being asked and being answered in a timely manner to make sure your house is moving smoothly throughout the entire process. When we talk about getting into a community, here's one thing that's important to know. We had moved away from, for the last couple of years, of being able to contract on a home before it was built. Because of COVID and supply chain issues and all of these things, builders weren't contracting on homes until they were in their final stages. And so basically you would come in and you would just kind of swoop in and they'd be, oh, hey, we're almost done. We're going to be done in 60 days, 90 days, whatever. That's still the case in some neighborhoods. However, some builders do have contract builds now, which means you can come into a community and be the contract from the start of the dirt being on the ground until the home is completed. Important thing to know, if you start from the ground up, timeline wise right now, most builders are quoting between 6 and 9 months. That is still way lower than where we were. Up until this last year, I had friends that waited 18 months on a new construction home because of supply chain issues. So we're still stepping back those timelines from ground up to be built construction. If you come into a contract that's, let's say, at a stage 3 or stage 4, which for most builders is that drywall or pre-drywall stage, from that point, Usually, depending on if things have been ordered or not, you could probably close between 90 and 120 days, give or take, weather and things like that. So that's just an important delineation to note on a timeline. So also other thing to note is if you contract, depending on where you contract in the build process, is going to determine how much you get to pick on the home. Speaking of things that you pick that go into your home, every builder does this a little bit differently. A lot of them have moved to like packages. So it's like, hey, you pick this particular package, and in that package that covers your flooring, your tile, your carpet, your door handles and doorknobs, your faucets, your countertop colors, your cabinet colors, and you pick based on packages. Some of them still have kind of a la carte, like, hey, I want this cabinet color, but I want this floor. And their design centers are really great at helping you work through things and helping you visualize those kind of things. It's like, hey, here's what it's going to look like. Pro tip to be aware of when you get into the design center, just be mindful. Your total is going to add up really, really quick. Like you're going to start saying, oh, we want that, we want that, we want that. And they're going to be like, yep. And before you turn around, you've added $100,000 to the base price of your home and you're freaking out. Just be mindful, have a game plan. Like when you walk into your design center meeting or your design meeting with your builder and your realtor, you need to know, hey, these are the non-negotiable things that we have to have. And then here's the things, like if we have to cut and make budget cuts, here's where we can cut. Again, anything structural that is, can be changed, that's where you should spend your money. So if you're in a community that offers a third car garage, or it offers, doorways from your laundry room, or moving things, left and right, like those need to be done there. Things like, oh, I don't like the hardware on the cabinets. That's easy to change post-close. Don't spend your money there. Spend it on things that are going to be harder to change after you move in. If the builder is offering any type of incentive, so like a closing cost incentive or a price reduction or an interest rate buy down or whatever that is, typically, not always, typically that's tied to what they call their preferred lender, which means most of the builders have a partnership or they own a mortgage company. So the way that they, do that is you have to use their lending to get those preferred incentives. So if it's like 15,000 or 20,000, sometimes it's split. Sometimes it's like, hey, it's 20,000 total, 15 from the lender and 5 from the builder, right? So if you decide, hey, I just don't want to use the lender or whatever, just know you're not going to get all of those incentives. A lot of times that is calculated into the price that you're paying for the home, right? And a lot of times you see those on more of their spec builds, not necessarily their like long-term to-be builds, because again, their money is already tied up in the home, right? So they're trying to get out of that, trying to move on. So of course they build their margin. They're going to make money. They're not in this to give this away for free, but in their margin, they have things built in like marketing costs for the home, incentive and credit to get you where you need to be on financing, right? With tied again to their lender. They have in the budget of the home tied in your realtor's commission, which is all the more reason why you should not ever walk into a new construction office without a realtor. Have somebody to represent you, ask questions, and stay on top of your builder throughout the process, whether it's a 9-month job or it's a 90-day and you're coming in at the end and grabbing something that's done. Just know all of those kind of things are calculated in and figured in. I would tell you that if you are building new construction or you are under contract for a new construction home, you should ask for and expect a weekly update from your builder and your sales rep, right? Phone call, email, text, whatever. Your realtor should be following up with them. To be honest, there's going to be some weeks that you're going to get like no update because rain happened, right? Or because supplies didn't get dropped off and the drywall guys couldn't do the drywall because the drywall didn't get dropped off, which means that puts them behind because now the floor guys can't come in. And it's just like this whole cyclical thing, right? And then you're like, what in the world is going on? So just know if you're going the new construction route, you're going to need a little bit of patience. You're going to need a little bit of grace because your home, believe it or not, is built by humans. And in case you didn't know, we're not perfect. So there's going to be mistakes. Things are going to get found. Most builders do a really great job of catching those mistakes when they happen, following up on them and getting them taken care of. Mistakes are going to happen. We don't want you to have to live with them. That's the difference. So because we say that mistakes are going to happen, the other important thing to know in a new construction home is get a home inspection, right? You want to spend the $400 to $600 that it's going to cost to get your home inspected. Get an independent set of eyes on that home before you close to come in and say, hey, here's what we missed, here's what's wrong, let's get it fixed before we get it closed. For your peace of mind, it's worth it. Like, that home inspection is probably one of the biggest, most important things I could tell you when it comes to buying new construction. All right, home is all done. You're getting close to move in. We're getting excited. And now the builder calls and says, hey, let's do our blue tape meeting. You know, it's typically 10 days or so before you close. This is the point where we're gonna meet, me as your realtor and you and as the client and your builder. We're gonna meet at your home and we're gonna get some blue masking tape and we're gonna walk through every piece of your home. Right, we're gonna flip every switch, we're gonna flush every toilet, we're gonna turn on every faucet, you name it, we're gonna mark it. That's also the time when the builder is gonna walk you through how every system in your home works. So how your HVAC system works, how your plumbing works, where your water shutoffs are. All of those things, they're gonna walk you through that and give you the peace of mind because, again, they were the one that built it. One of the best things about building new construction is the warranty that comes with them. Most builders offer what's called a 1 to 10 warranty. So it's typically 1 year on anything cosmetic, anything in the home, 2 years on any systems that you have in your home, and 10 years on anything structural. So foundation, framing, things like that. 1, 2, 10, and those are covered by the builder. One important question to ask when you're interviewing builders and you're asking and you're thinking about buying a home is we want to make sure to ask, hey, who's handling your warranties? Is it your company or do you outsource them? So for example, one of the reasons I love Highland Homes so much is because Highland handles all of their warranty claims in-house, which means the builder that built your home is going to be the person that shows back up for your warranty claim. Their company is going to take care of that. It's your responsibility as the buyer, though, to stay on top of your warranty. They're not going to proactively call you and be like, hey, we're just checking in. We want to see how your house. They're not going to do that. It's your responsibility, and then I will remind you as a realtor, hey, you register all your appliances, register with your warranty, get it all set up. And if there's a problem, they'll fix it, but you have to let them know that there's a problem. You have to be the one to be proactive in taking advantage of those warranties that they give you. And if you're proactive in doing that, that's one of the things that makes new construction a really, really great deal. When it comes to new construction, I love helping families buy new construction. I'll just put it honestly with you. That's one of my favorite things to do. In my real estate transactions, my wife and I, we've bought several new construction homes. Some realtors won't touch it. They'll just be honest. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want the long-term headache of it. Me, I love it. So as always, if I can be of assistance to you in any way when it comes to new construction, reach out. I put my contact information right there. My guarantee to my clients is, hey, you're always going to get the best deal. We're always going to take care of as many incentives as possible from the builder and their lender. And then I'm going to take care of you on the back end with a realtor credit for buying new construction as a thank you from me. And again, just helping you get into your new home. Contact information is down below. Reach out, send me a text if I can help you in any way. Leave me a comment down below. Let's do this. Leave me a comment down below about if you've bought a new construction home, about maybe your favorite thing about it, or hey, let's even be honest, least favorite thing about it. So comment down below. Love to have that dialogue with you. And again, if you're thinking about new construction here in DFW, I'd love to be the person that helps you, advocates for you, stands in your corner any way I can. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, guys. Hope your 2022 is finishing up well. Looking forward to a great 2023 with all of you. Bye for now.